Hello everyone, gonna be breaking down this NBA main slate for Super Bowl Sunday. Obviously, because with Super Bowl going on, the slate's gonna be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So Utah, Indy. For the Indiana side, we saw them close last game with basically their entire bench except Justin Holiday because they were just playing really well. They went on a run, so they just went with the hot hand, went with the group that got them back into the game. So I don't expect that to happen again. And because of how that game went, we have discounts now with Sabonis, Brogdon, and I think they're going to be pretty good plays here. I know Utah's a very tough matchup, but Utah's going to be without Mike Conley, so that's going to be a slight hit to their defense. Indiana is going to be at a pace down situation. But the prices, Sabonis, we've seen him produce pretty much in every matchup. So for a 5-game slate, raw points becomes a lot more important. I'm not going to have him as a core player because I think there are some other better plays, but I think he looks really good. Brogdon, he's going to be good as well, 7,600, no Conley, so should be a little bit easier of a matchup, but still kind of difficult. And then Miles Turner, 6,100, he's never been a big rebounder against anyone, but particularly against Gobert, you know, Turner, he just needs his blocks. So at 6,100, he certainly has upside, but lately, yeah, it wasn't just last game. Before even, they will close with other guys. They can close with Sabonis at center. They have Goga Bitadze, who's healthy now. Like McDermott could close. Just they have a lot of guys that could potentially eat into Turner. And then for Lamb, Holiday, McConnell, everyone on the Indiana side, I think they're just kind of too expensive now. McDermott, he's like kind of cheap, but in a tough matchup against Utah, I don't think I'm going to go there. For the Utah side, I think Mitchell looks excellent, 7,900, because there's no Conley. He's going to have to run point a lot more, and we know him as a good scorer. Indiana going to be a little bit of a pace-up spot. Gobert, 7,300. The price looks good. And Miles Turner, he's not a big rebounder, so Gobert should be able to double-double with ease. He was in foul trouble last game, and they've been in a lot of blowouts. But their favorites being back the past few games, that's been eating into Gobert's minutes. They're perfectly comfortable having favors playing at center, so Gobert's not seeing like the 37 minutes that we saw before. For Boyan, I don't want to play him at 6,400. Yes, he's going to be probably picking up a little bit more usage, but he's just not going to shoot this well every day. He's also not going to shoot, or he's not going to get 5 assists. That's just not his game. And rebounds, there are other guys that can get rebounds. So, yeah, this game was pretty much a ceiling game for him. And Clarkson, 5,700, he's fine, but pretty scoring dependent. Should see a little bit more minutes. Joe Ingles, 5,300. I like him. He could definitely be like a value to mid-range play. A lot of flexibility with the position, and then just going to have a lot more assist opportunities, more minutes, more ball handling opportunities, which is really good for Ingles. And yeah, for the next game, Miami, for them, I think there's really nothing that stands out right now. Dragic being out, yes, it will help the other guys, but like Bam, 9K, it's a little bit too much. Butler, 8,400, like that's an okay price. New York's a very slow team, and also defensively, Knicks have been pretty solid this year. Hero, kind of too expensive for me. None, same thing. If I were to go with someone out of these guys, probably Butler. And then for value, maybe Duncan Robinson, because if he gets hot, he can make like 6, 7 threes, and at 4,600, he can pay that off. But no core plays for Miami. New York, Miami's a good defensive team as well. They don't play fast either, so it's tough to see some of these guys make it into like a main core lineup if they're playing single entry. Alfred Payne, probably the most intriguing guy because he has the most upside at 4,500. If he's playing well, he'll play 30 plus minutes. But if Quickly is playing well, he's not cheap though. That's going to eat away and pretty much take away Alfred Payne's minutes. So for this New York side, it's not really anything intriguing. Maybe Alfred for tournaments, but that's really it. Now, this game, one of the best games on the slate. I think Bradley Beal, Westbrook, both are going to look excellent. Both teams do not play that great of a do not play great defense. Washington, of course, they play really fast, and Westbrook, he's always going to be able to flirt with a triple-double. Charlotte, just a team that's not really a good rebounding team. So that's going to help Westbrook's triple double upside. Beal, he looks fine. He's not going to shoot like I think he shot like 1 for 14 last game. So expect better games for both of these guys. I prefer Westbrook because he is just less reliant on shooting. He can get there with rebounds and assists. Everyone else, Bertans, 4,300, deserves a mention. Charlotte, not good at defending the three. Bertans, he's actually been getting some early rotations, subbing in for Avdia at the three. So, yeah, rebounding, it's it's going to fluctuate, but he's just really scoring dependent. But 4,300, he's also kind of like Duncan Robinson, where he just needs to get his looks, knock some threes down, and if he does, he's going to have a good tournament-winning game probably. For the Charlotte side, Hayward at 8K, he's still fine. This is going to be one of the most expensive prices that we've seen for him, but this is as good of a matchup as it gets, so I'm fine paying that. LaMelo without Devontae Graham, he looks good. He's very productive, gets a lot of peripherals. Cody Zeller actually lost some minutes last time, and PJ Washington is questionable, so he could be back, could be taking some center minutes. So Zeller, it's a very good matchup for him, but there's definitely ways where it just doesn't work out for him. Rozier 5,600. I really like this play. There's no Graham, so they can close with Rozier for sure. Because LaMelo can close then that way. If Malik Monk's hot off the bench, they can close with three guards. So Rozier 5,600, very shot dependent. But when you take off Graham, that should mean more assists. Obviously LaMelo will handle, but Rozier's rebounds, they're not a lot, but like for a point guard, averaging 4, that's totally fine. Washington, the team that can turn the ball over a lot, like Westbrook, so he can get some steals as well. I just think this price is too cheap with Graham out. And everyone else, Bridges, his minutes just weren't good last time, and PJ Washington could be back, so it's going to be a no. Malik Monk for tournaments, but you're really relying on his scoring. Now, Boston, Phoenix, they're going to be without Jaylen Brown, so Tatum's going to look good. He's going to get all the usage. Same thing with Kemba, but Kemba Walker's minutes, he got 32. We're not sure if we're going to see 32 again because it's been said that he's only been being limited at 30. And then everyone else, I think Tice, Tristan Thompson, they're always at risk of losing minutes. Like DeAndre Ayton, he'll close, so they'll probably need one of these guys. But Phoenix, we could see them start Kaminsky again. Maybe they go to Cam Johnson. I would expect Kaminsky though because Boston seems to just start Tyson Thompson no matter what right now because of the injuries. One guy I need to mention is Carson Edwards because he played really well last time, so he got a lot of minutes, but I don't like this if he's going to be chalk. First thing, it's the defense. Phoenix is a pretty good defensive team. They're also really slow. They play at a slow pace. So with Pritchard coming back now for a second game, he could play more minutes than he got like 19 last time. He could steal minutes. Javonte Green, Tremont Waters, they just have guys that they don't need to absolutely let Carson Edwards play a lot, especially if he doesn't start well. So I don't really like that play. For the Phoenix side, I think DeAndre Ayton is the best play for this team. 1,600, Boston is pretty weak against centers. They're without Smart and Jaylen Brown, so that could mean that it allows Paul and Booker to play a lot better than we expect in this matchup too. So I think they're both in play. They both have upside. I prefer Booker a little bit because he's just gonna get more shots usually. He has the higher ceiling, I would say. DeAndre Ayton, 1,600, that's too cheap for him. I know Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice, they got bigs, but Ayton, he's a 7-footer. He can play heavy minutes. I just have some pretty good interest here for Ayton. I think this is just way too cheap again. So Bridges 5,500, like that's fine, but doesn't feel like I really need him. Cam Johnson 5,200. Even if he starts, I prefer to go to Bridges if you want one of these forwards. Crowder's doubtful. Kaminsky, if he starts again, he could be a value play at 3,700. Pretty much a stretch 5, playing as a stretch 4. He's fine because he's just a cheap play in 5-game slate. You probably need some value. Now I would say Sacramento, LAC, Clippers. This could be the second most intriguing game. Kings are going to be on a back-to-back. Fox. His price is kind of expensive, but he's been really good this year, and there's no Patrick Beverley, there's no Paul George, so it should mean that the Kings should be able to stay in this game pretty comfortably. Clippers are actually like 8-point favorites, which is a little bit surprising because they're without Paul George. Buddy Hield, I don't want to pay 7K for him. Barnes is 6,600, like that's fine, but not underpriced. Halliburton, maybe a little bit better. Holmes at 5,600, he's got upside. He can get you 40 plus, but the Clippers, they have been pretty good against centers this year, so it's not easy matchup. Bagley, 4,900, that's pretty cheap for him, but they played, they pretty much went away from him, and it seems like they're trying to do that. Maybe he is on the way out for a trade because there's been rumors around it, but yeah, there's upside. If Bagley continues to start, he can play well. Yeah, he can definitely get there at this price tag. So that's it for the Kings. Clippers side, I think we gotta talk about Kawhi Leonard. Gonna be probably my favorite play. Kings again, just they play at a really fast pace. Defense has not been good, and Kawhi without Paul George, he really should be like 10K plus. So you're getting him at a discount, 9,100, 5 game slate. He's probably going to be very high owned, but you just play him. I think he's overall the best play on the slate. And then Ibaka, 5,400. He gets more usage, but the minutes aren't really affected by George and Beverly being out. Zubac is still going to get a lot of minutes. Batum played a lot, but he's just not like that productive of a player. Lou Williams, I always have interest if one of George and Kawhi are out because he's just going to be playing by himself at times, and 5K Kings, great matchup, so I do have interest in Lou. Reggie Jackson, same thing. He wasn't foul trouble last game, so I can definitely see him being a better play. Probably not going to be high owned either because of the bust last time. Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, both of them are cheap. I like them as value. I do expect Morris to close. Definitely that could happen. Luke Kennard, if he plays well, he could close as well. It's tough to see. Maybe both of them could close. Maybe they don't. One of them do, but Kennard, he did start last time, 3,800. He gets more ball handling opportunities with George out, so I think he's a good value play right now. Definitely prefer him over Carson Edwards. So for right now, the overall, the core five, the first play is going to be Kawhi. And then looking to this game, targeting, the best game environments, I'm going to plug in Russell Westbrook and then Terry Rozier and then DeAndre Ayton. And then back to the Clippers game for value is going to be Luke Kennard. So right now that is the core five. Make sure to monitor the news because Sundays it sometimes does get kind of weird with the injuries. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like before you go. You can ask me anything down below in the comment section, or you can find me on Twitter at Waffles. Link will be in the description below. So happy Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully, you guys win some money before Super Bowl starts, and good luck on the slate. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.